welcome to ShareTreck. It is 13th of January 2022. Thanks for joining us today. And as usual, I'm going to talk about a couple of news items in the industry and then go on to the technical analysis for the day. And if you're joining us for the first time, please stay, watch the video, like, share, and subscribe, and help us develop this channel as a CRISPR specialty channel. The first item I want to talk to you about today is from a website called the Genetic Literacy Project, and I have read this press release, and in order to make sure that it's not fake news or something, I decided to go and check the actual website of the organization that did the research, and it's legit. And I found a page which talks about that particular innovation. So what is it all about? So basically the researchers have engineered a biosensor that can be used to verify that CRISPR has properly edited the DNA in plants and other organisms. The developers at Oak Ridge National Laboratories, which is basically this website here, Oak Ridge National Laboratories, you can visit them, and they are doing a whole lot of work. There is more information here. I might probably read them at a later time. So what the researchers have done is that they compared their new approach to an alarm system encoded into an organism's DNA, allowing researchers to monitor changes to its genome in real time. So the biosensor works by intercepting CRISPR and redirecting it to a specific DNA sequence that encodes for a non-functioning green fluorescent protein, which they call as GFP, an acronym. Oak Ridge's notes, when the gene editing machinery edits this sequence, it activates the protein, quite literally a glowing confirmation that CRISPR is where it is supposed to be in the cell. The developers say that their new tool would have important applications in biosecurity, bioenergy, and even agriculture. So that is the first piece of news that I have. The next item is from a website called businesswire.com. It's an announcement of a new CRISPR gene market editing survey. So the very highlight item that I have from this press release is that the global CRISPR gene editing market was valued at $1,088.6 million in 2020, and it is expected to reach $18,856.6 million by 2031, registering a compound annual growth rate of 29.60 during this period from 2020 to 2031. There is not much more information about it, but it's just highlighting a market research that you can buy, and the contents are going to be the market overview. It's talking about the competitive landscape and market growth drivers, which is the prevalence of genetic disorders and use of gene editing, government and private funding, technology advancement in CRISPR gene editing. It's also talking about market challenges, which is the off-target effects and delivery, ethical concerns and implications with respect to human gene editing, which we have spoken about earlier. It also talks about market opportunities, expanding gene and cell therapy area, CRISPR gene editing scope in agriculture, and the market report coverage is the entire CRISPR gene editing industry, and it talks about all agriculture, biomedical, industrial, and other applications. So it's a comprehensive one, but when I look at the companies that is covered in it, I do not find many of the companies that we are following. So I don't, and also there are some companies that we should follow, but we are not following, like Verve, which I'm going to add to our list. So it has got Abcam, Applied Stem Cell, Agilent, etc. Yeah, we have CRISPR Therapeutics in this. And apart from that, no other company that we are tracking is profiled in this report. So that's all I have in the news segment, and let's go on to the technical analysis of today's action so far. So we are looking at the VIXN right now. It is 12:47 p.m. and it's not looking great. As usual, the VIX has again jumped up around 8.66%. So it was like the last couple of days was a head fake. So we come back down here when it comes to Nasdaq. As you can see, this red line is kind of pushing through the support that we had at 14954.18. So it's just a bit of touch and go. If this support holds, then we are okay. If not, then our next support is going to be at 14,271, which is this green line at the bottom. So if I look at the MACD, it doesn't look bearish, but it is tending towards the signal line. That's not good, but it's still in a bullish phase. The momentum has suddenly dropped. As you can see, this purple line, it is curved down. So that's not a good scenario either. So having said that, let's go on to look at our biotech sector. And as usual, I have sorted it according to the gains or losses. The top loser right now is Beam, and Beam has lost 6.68% as of now. And we still have another 2 hours, 2 to 2.5 hours of the market to go. So we have broken through the previous support that we had at 70.08, and I'm going to mark that as a resistance. I'll plot a new support for this very soon, but by the looks of it, it seems that we might have a support out here based on what I've seen happening in here. So let us do this. So this could be our next support, and it is at 65.12. So let's hope that we stay above that today for Beam. Next, let's look at Intellia. So the MACD is bearish. RSI is totally gone. There is no momentum at all. Dark pool activity also is negative. So with a loss of minus 6.26%, Intellia now stands at 91.83. So it's not looking good at all for the rest of the day. And if I zoom out, I still have this support here, which is this thick green line, which is going diagonal, and it has been with us for a while now. So if we were to look at the date, since 28th of June, we have had this green line, which has been the lower bounds of the bearish channel. So I would expect that to help us. And also we have another support out here, which is a horizontal support at 87.07. So between them, they should definitely allow this to bounce up. Meanwhile, we have broken through one of the supports we had earlier, which was at 99.77. So I'm going to change that into a resistance, and we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Now coming back to the daily time frame, like let us look at a one-day map for Intellia, and our MACD seems to be moving towards the bullish side, and the momentum is picking up. So hopefully before the end of the day, we can reduce this deficit of $5.60 to something manageable, up to $3 or something, based on what I see with the indicators. So that's all I have to add about Intellia. Then let's go on to Editas, which is down 5.36%. That's $1.25. Again, on a daily basis, it's just about turned bullish on the MACD. And the RSI is pretty strong, and it's trending towards the oversold. So we still have a bit of space to move up. I'm hoping that before the end of the day, we would probably be negative at the most by minus 0.5, and then we move sidewards while the RSI tries to cool down. That is my thinking, but we'll see what happens as the time unfolds. Next, let's look at CRISPR Therapeutics. It's at minus 4.03%. That is down $2.81. Right now standing at $67.05. MACD is bullish again. It has a very strong upward movement, and so is the RSI. So I'm feeling very comfortable that we are going to be able to reduce this minus $2.82 deficit to somewhere close to maybe 75 cents or something if this momentum persists. And now let us look at Bluebird, which is down 4.04% or 36 cents. And the MACD is again turning bullish. The RSI is aimed downwards, so I hope that the momentum kind of picks up. It's not too bad right now in the RSI department, but it needs to start picking up. And if the MACD continues to be bullish, again, we should probably end up Bluebird either positive or neutral at the end of the day, which is another 2 hours, 1.5 hours to go. Now let us look at ARKG. ARKG is down 3.74%, that is $2. And as I told you yesterday, I bought ARKG and promptly I have red ink on my balance sheet. So I just hope that doesn't happen to be a firm trend. This is a 1-minute chart. However, there is this very encouraging double bottom here. So when you have a double top, usually it indicates that the share is going to fall severely. So if I have a double bottom, I would assume that there's going to be a slight upward momentum. And because this is a 1 minute map, I would assume that this will be a very short-lived bullish momentum for a brief period of time, and maybe that will help us shave this difference of $2.08 down to maybe $1 or something, because MACD is bullish. RSI is also not too bad, even though the momentum seems to be dying out. So let us hope for the best. Next we have TDOC down $3, and the MACD is bullish and RSI is okay. So hopefully we are able to again reduce the deficit out here from minus 2.57 to maybe minus 2 or something before the end of the day. Next we go on to Regeneron, which is down 2.31% standing at 616.83, with the MACD being bullish and RSI is almost neutral, but momentum can pick up very soon, and we could probably erase some of the huge deficits that we have here. We are down $14.61, and any positive momentum that we can derive just from the MACD alone, maybe it should help us to reduce the deficit to somewhere around $11 or $12 before the close of the day. We still have support at 614.51, and our resistance is going to be at 619.54. So that is our resistance. So since the last time we checked this chart, we have dropped significantly, and that's that's not a very happy sign. Let's look at Pfizer, which is down 1.85%. That is $1, 55.61. The MACD has turned bearish, and the RSI is just about picking up. The momentum is picking up. So as I mentioned earlier, Pfizer will survive. Pfizer will be able to pick up whatever deficit it has made and kind of manage a decent showing overall. Because if you look at this chart, which is a 3-month chart, I have got a 3-month chart in front of me right now, you would see that we have been bouncing between 61.67 and 53.45 since 10th of December. And if we were to maintain ourselves above this support of 53.50, which we have done since 10th of December, we should be fine. I don't see any major negatives for Pfizer as such, except the interest rate hike which is coming in. But then Pfizer is both a value and a growth company. It's a value company because it pays dividends and it has got patents and everything on its books. And it's also a growth company because it's bought into CRISPR, and those assets will start yielding growing returns for it as it goes ahead. Vertex is down neutral, no gain, no loss. We are above our support of 224.46, and we are right now battling a resistance of 226.21. The MACD is closely intertwined with the signal line, so I can't tell what is happening here. The dark pool sentiment is positive, and the momentum is also picking up, so I'll assume everything to be a positive impetus out here, and therefore I would expect us to close about 226.21 today, so that we can convert that into a support when we go forward into the next day. Novartis has picked up $1.15, and it gives us a lone cheer that we can get in this market, and it stands at $90.82 above all the supports that it has. The MACD is bullish and the RSI is overbought, so we should expect a bit of sideward momentum until the RSI subsides a bit, and then again continue its upward movement. Now I'm going to add Verve to it. Verve Therapeutics, I think we should have that in our list. And this is the first time I'm looking at the chart for Verve, so please bear up with me. The MACD is bearish, the dark pool sentiment is negative, and we are right now at 31.65. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some time to study this chart and come up with a bunch of resistance and support levels that I can incorporate. The ones that are very obvious I would like to mark right now. So this is a very obvious resistance that we have here, and the next obvious resistance that I can see could be out here. Yeah, this is another resistance. I'll plot the others. after this video is over. So that's all I have for you today for this session. It's going to be a bit difficult until we go through this volatility. I am looking at just the risks of the market, and I'm going to come up with a separate video just focusing on the risks. Watch out for that. It should drop anytime this week. I'll probably make an announcement in a video just before I drop it. So please like, share, and subscribe. And if you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing and help us to build this community. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.